Well, hello folks, L.A. Little here from TA Today. Uranium, it goes parabolic. Questions in this video that we're going to try to answer: how do we get here? What should you do? And where does it go next? So, tackling that first question, how did we get here? Well, you can see in this chart that price has just simply been trending up higher and higher all the way, right? Starting from the left-hand corner, working its way up, and then going parabolic. But this is a daily chart. To understand how we got here, you have to go back in time. You have to look at weekly charts, monthly charts. You have to go back and you have to look at how this groundwork was laid. Going back in time, this is the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. This is at the end of September 2022. What do we have? Well, the inception of the physical fund was back here under $10, or right at $10 was a low, and it did a parabolic move right off the bat. Makes a high around 18.5, and then it does what? Consolidates, and it consolidates for this full year that you see on this particular chart, and even longer when you look at the next chart, because here we're looking at it again, the weekly chart, and this is September of 2023 where the breakouts occur. That's 2 years of basing, folks, and now you get the parabolic move. How did that happen? What keyed this? What could you have seen that told you this? Well, the key, of course, is the idea of a breakout. You've got a breakout here, but this one fades back and actually fails on a bullish retest regen. But this breakout and the one next to it in August and September of 2023, those were the critical ones. Those were the ones that really got over the top and have continued on up. And what's critical was that it wasn't in isolation, because if we pull up the monthly chart, here you can see that breakout taking place over the highs right back here. That breakout followed by the next month's breakout with a volume surge, that was the start of the big move. Multiple swing point breakouts on multiple time frames, that's what gets you parabolic moves, or at least sets up the possibility of a parabolic move. Most of the time you're going to get a retest regen on a breakout. 80% of the time. 80% of the time when something breaks out, it's going to come back and it's going to retest what it broke out on. But when you get multiple ones on multiple time frames, that doesn't have to happen. Those are the exceptions to the rules. They give the rise of the possibility for parabolic moves. That, in a nutshell, is technically how uranium got to where it is. So the question now, of course, is what do you do? Well, now some people, the first thing they think of is, oh, well, this is parabolic, it can't last, right? We're going to short this thing. Uh-oh, that's a wrong move. You don't short something just because it's parabolic, because it can stay parabolic for a very long time. Matter of fact, if you go back and you think about the adage on the bottom side where traders say, hey, when a stock's collapsing, don't catch a falling knife. Well, this is the exact opposite. This is don't stand in front of a supersonic car. So the problem is if you're not in this, how do you get in it? And if we switch back over to a daily chart, on the daily chart, what you're going to have to do is find a place where there's going to be support. I mean, the TA Today charts show you support here. That's a decent piece back, but that's certainly achievable. That's your high volume bar. That's the bottom of it. I think a push back into here is very possible, and it's a buy. You could go intraday and use 30-minute charts if you wanted to try and squeeze your way in, because there's no saying that this thing can't keep going. Now, at some point, it's going to reverse. They all do, right? But that's just going to set up the next leg, the next consolidation, eventually another breakout potentially. So if you're in the position already, of course, the obvious situation that you want is simply to maximize your gains. When do you get off? And usually in TA Today, we use projections to decide where does it go next. But those projections quickly get eaten up when you're in a parabolic move. I mean, the projections that were available on this particular instrument were at 20, 21, and again at 2261. All of those got eaten up. There's only one left. It was up here at 33, and we have to flip to the weekly chart to see that one. That one actually started back here on this bar, made a high there. That's the B point. Your C point was here, and the target's 33. But if you look at this, and it's trading today because it's out of Canada, it hit, there's the 33 target. What did it hit today? 33.02. It's already hit. This is gone. As of tonight, it will disappear. All targets have been met. Now, the last thing to realize is that the parabolic moves tend to be the ones that overshoot their targets. And given that it had a 33 target, what's to say it can't go higher? Well, it probably will go higher. What you have to do is you have to fall back to your daily charts, look for a situation where you get some sort of a test failure. So you come up, you try to get over something, and you fail. We haven't seen that in a while here, but it will happen again at some point. And when it does, you'll get a move up, a pullback, an attempt to get higher that can't, and then eventually a drop. And what you want to do is try to figure out this spot here to take a little bit off the table and to try to buy back cheaper at some point in the future. So that's it. This parabolic, it's moving. Be happy. Grab as much as you can get while it's there, and take care.